Hi there, I'm Champion Trader Kevin Davey, and let's talk about backtests. Should they be good or should they be great? Let's get started. Talking about backtests, a lot of people think the better the backtest is, the better the real-time performance is. And that's not necessarily true. How do I know this? Well, I've looked at a ton of strategies from my Strategy Factory students. These are students who take my course, who then submit strategies for sharing with other students, and quite a few of them work in real time. Not all of them do, but quite a few of them do. And by looking at the data, we can see what's good and what's bad and what they're doing. And where that data comes from is what I call the Strategy Factory Club, where students submit strategies to me. I monitor them for 6 months, and then at the end of 6 months, all the ones that pass get shared. So it's a really good way to build up a strategy database for all the students. Now, talking about backtests, you might start with the one on the left, and that's after a little optimization, that kind of thing. And then if you keep adding rules and filters and doing more optimizing, you could easily end up with the equity curve that's shown on the right, which is a whole lot better than the one on the left, right? The point is, you can take just about any strategy, and if you play around with it enough, and if you add enough rules and spend enough time on it, you can get a great looking backtest. But is that the real goal here? I'll say it's not the real goal. The real goal is to get a decent looking backtest that performs well in real time. And so that's where I use data from my Strategy Factory students. What it shows is this area where the strategy's good, but if it's too good, it's bad. And if the strategy's not good at all, if the backtest is terrible, that's not good either. And that's kind of shown in this chart where I'm using return to drawdown from my Monte Carlo simulation. I've talked about that in other videos, but that's my criteria. And what it says is if it's too low, you have that red rectangle on the left, and you get a very few strategies that pass. The winning percentage or the passing percentage is pretty low. And then if that return to drawdown is too high, which think of a perfect backtest where the equity curve just looks perfectly straight, that would be too high, and a lot of those fail. Where you want to be is somewhere in the middle, in the green, where the return to drawdown is below upper threshold and it's above a lower threshold. So it's right in that sweet spot. So think of like Goldilocks and the Three Bears, where the algo strategy is too cold on one side and it's too hot on the other side, but right in the middle, then it's just right. And that tells you a lot. It tells you you want a good backtest, but you don't necessarily want a great backtest. And that's where a lot of people get messed up, is they think they need a great backtest. Well, this data says, no, you don't need a great backtest. You just want a good one. And of course, if you have a poor one, that's not going to be good either. But the best chance of future success is right in that middle part. So again, I use my Monte Carlo spreadsheet to calculate that return to drawdown ratio. And then I have parameters I share with students. The return to drawdown's got to be greater than this value X, and it's also got to be less than Y. So it's in that middle zone. And again, that's developed from thousands of strategies that I've created, that students have created, so we know where those upper and lower limits are. And if you didn't take the course, you don't know those limits. But hey, if you don't want to take my course, you can still use this. One, you can download my spreadsheet for free. You can attend my workshop, of course. But you can also analyze a bunch of your own strategies if you have real-time performance for it. And maybe you'll find that X and Y value, that lower limit and that upper limit of where your strategies seem to be performing well. And it might not even be return to drawdown that you look at. I use return to drawdown. I've found a lot of success with it, but maybe you'll find something like profit factor or something along those lines. I don't know. But the key is you base your criteria on real results. And that's what I do with my own trading. That's what my students do. And if you take the course, that's what you do. And if you don't, you could do it on your own if you had enough strategies. Speaking of my workshop, it's an award-winning, highly ranked workshop. I've also taught a whole bunch of trading contest trophy winners, first, second, or third place in trading contests. So a lot of people have used this approach successfully. If you like this video, leave a comment, give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think. I'm Champion Trader Kevin Davey. Have a great day.